Second time, it's kind of like your second baby, like they say. You are definitely a lot more prepared, definitely a lot less worried as well. And that's how I felt when I first moved to India. So in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing 7 things I did to prepare myself for my move to India. Let me know if you want me to do a separate video on how I prepared to move to Morocco, because that is a whole different story. This video is in collaboration with Black Digital Nomad. Check out Jazzy's video to see how she prepared for her move to her country. I'm not gonna tell you where it is because you're gonna have to watch her video to find out. Let her know that you came from the Jazzy Nation, and yeah, let's get to the video. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is super obvious, but visas and passports. Here in India, it requires a little bit more extra stuff than it did for Morocco and all those European countries that we were able to travel to. I feel like this part of the world requires visas and different things like that for Americans, and you want to make sure that you do that research before obviously you get to your country. They're probably not going to even let you past the gate to get onto your plane if you don't have the required documents, because they check those things even when you are dropping your bags off. So you definitely want to do your research, and if you're coming to India for a job, do all of that prep work beforehand, because if your job is requiring you to come work at a certain date and you don't have your visa and your passport or whatever required documents you need from your country to come to India, then it's just going to take a very long time. I would say that our visa process took a significant amount of time, but we started early, so I felt very prepared. Number 2, we bulk shopped, and bulk shopping is like regular shopping for me. I love grocery shopping in particular, and we just got our favorite stuff. So our favorite popcorn, we got things like Ziploc bags and just different things that we felt like we may not be able to find here in India, although a lot of that stuff is technically here. But it's nice to be able to pay your American prices and have it shipped along with all of your other things that you're moving to your country. I'm still living off of a lot of the stuff that I bulk shipped, so I'm very thankful for that. The third thing that I did was I researched like crazy, because it was so important for me to know exactly what I was getting into, or at least close to exactly what I was getting into. I didn't really research much for Morocco, and again, that could be another whole video because that was a hot mess. For India, I researched where we were gonna be living and the outskirts of the area. I mean, I still was surprised. Obviously, it's not perfect to research over the computer and not be at your location yet, but it was still so helpful. Watching YouTube videos, going on people's blogs and different things like that is so helpful. People are very good at sharing the wealth of knowledge that they have, like I'm doing, in YouTube videos, and it's very cool, especially when they do really cool B-roll. Want to see exactly what streets look like, what driving is going to look like. I find that it's great to research from multiple sources. Don't just take your information from one person like me, because my experience is my experience and you might relate to somebody else down the line, but always come back to my videos, of course. The fourth thing I did to prepare for my move to India was to prepare my family. I went back home for a little bit. I got to visit family. I got to tell them what India would be like for me through what I've researched, through what I've seen, and also just to spend time with them. When you're abroad, you never know what could happen until it happens, and I am a realist. I know that while I'm abroad, things could happen, not just to me, but to my family members, to people that I love and care about. And it's just so important for me to make sure that I mend as many fences as I can with people that I might be on the outs with. I'm not really on the outs with anybody, I don't think. It's just really nice to also give them peace of mind because, you know, you're moving super far away if you're coming to India from the States. People have all of their different perceptions of what your life is gonna look like when you move to India, and so it's really great for you to share the information that you've learned. I even researched the time zone that I would be living in before coming to India, and it's so weird here in the South because it's like an extra half an hour on top of all the other hours that we are away from the States. So letting my family know that, and also letting them know when the best times to call me are and different things like that. It's super important because people want to know that you're going to be okay, and they want to know how they can reach you and different things like that. 5, I prepared my whole entire body, girl. I sure did. I went to the gym. I tried to eat as best as I could, at least leading up to the move 2 months or so, and it was great. I wasn't sure about my gym situation. I researched it as much as I could, but I wasn't sure if I would be able to go to the gym super frequently, if I was gonna have to work out at my house. So I just told myself mentally and physically I'd work on my body to get myself right, and mentally as well, doing yoga, making sure that I'm praying and getting closer to God, just different things like that, because although you can research, you never know what you don't know until you get to a place, and you never know how your mental situation is gonna be set up. There have been some things that have happened so far while I've lived in India, and I think that me just taking time to practice self-care and good well-being has helped me cope with some of these things, so it's so important. The 6th thing I did to prepare myself was get my vaccinations and all of that stuff. Like, that's obvious, right? You go to a new place, you don't want to get sick, you don't want to get other people sick, so you make sure to get the required vaccinations because it's so important. And I was so surprised with how much I needed to do vaccination-wise, because for my little American body, I am just susceptible to everything. So I actually had to get every vaccine, I feel like, under the sun. But in the long run, it's helpful. It has been helpful to prevent me from different things, from getting extremely sick and all of that. So it's super important to get vaccinations before you head anywhere abroad, but especially here in India, because there are some unique things that your body may not be used to, and so make sure that you get those things for you and your family. So the 7th and final way I prepared for my move to India was I made goals and a plan. I've talked about this in a previous video. For my husband's job, we move, and that is why we are expats, I guess, versus other titles for people moving abroad, because we are moving for the work, we move with the work. And for me, I didn't want to not have something to do, and I had to come up with a plan. I had to write it all down and figure out, okay, girl, you're going to a foreign country that's super far away. What are you going to do? How are you going to sustain yourself mentally and physically and professionally and different things like that? So I invested in myself. I made sure that I was going to be at least somewhat set up. Of course, I couldn't predict what my life would be like in the trajectory completely, but I knew that if I had a plan as to the way that I wanted it to go, that I would be better off. Traveling overseas is cool for vacation, but for living abroad, it's a different story. So you have to have something to do, you have to have a plan, and you have to try to stick to your goal. So I made a plan. I think it's going pretty well so far, and I'm just super happy to continue working on that plan and revamping my ideas and revamping my goals and taking you all along on that journey if you want to see what that looks like as well. All right, I'm done blabbing. That felt super long. I want to give a shout out to the comment of the day. Thank you so much for being in those comments, being super active. I will be trying Maggie very, very soon. You keep asking me and I have not forgotten. I actually bought Maggie, so it's gonna happen probably sometime this week or this weekend, so stay tuned for that. And if you would like to see your comment featured in my next video, leave me a comment down below letting me know how you prepare for travel or for moving either to the next location down the street or abroad, a big move abroad. Any move is a move, so let me know down below what that looks like for you. And I want to say thank you in advance so much for subscribing to the Jazzy Nation. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye guys. Mwah. The sixth thing that I did, the sixth